Okay, is this thing on? Are we ready to go? Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Thank you for coming back and sticking with me because today we're going to talk about some of the little awkward moments of your shy girl, Sid Pace. So, as you know, my name is Sid Pace, your secret admirer, your dream girl, and actually your crush, hence the name of the podcast. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun to share a little bit about my childhood today because I don't know, it's good to know where somebody comes from, where they've been, how they are, what they do, what they don't. So if you're down, let's go on this journey together and let's relive some childhood memories. After digging in the archives, we have today's topic on all things growing up. So I don't know if this is something that y'all picked up on, but I am the youngest. Yep, I have 2 older siblings, and you know what they say about the youngest? I bring the vibes to the function every single time, That's what they say about the youngest, so don't come at me. Don't come at me, you guys. That's just truth. That's just actually facts, and it's not my fault. I have 2 older siblings. Growing up, what did we do as siblings? We mainly made music videos together. Most mornings we would eat cereal together as we got ready for school. I, as a kid, didn't really like people staring at me, and I would cry every time they would watch me for some weird reason. I don't know if there's a therapist out there that can help me understand why. But it would go like when I would open my birthday gifts, like nobody look at me. When I'd eat my cereal, nobody look at me. In the morning, me and my siblings would all eat our favorite cereal, and I would like set up a wall around me of boxes and eat my cereal in my little wall because one wrong look at and I'm gonna start crying. I don't know why, but anyway, love my siblings. I feel like we were besties back in the day, had a good time, and as we grew up, they'd be going through that teenage phase, I'd be going through that teenage phase, and now we're back together to being friends. I mean, I don't think we were ever not friends, but I think we're definitely better friends now. So yeah, that was a little bit kind of how my sibling dynamic is sports was a big thing in our house, and so all of us be doing sports and going and supporting each other at like their basketball games, football games, if you're me, my kickball games, or we would build Lego, like our dream houses in Legos. Every Sunday we'd bring out all the bins and just have a Lego party in our dining room. So I love my parents. Both my mom and dad are people that I feel are probably the most supportive people and hyped whenever I have anything going on. They were always there, supportive, and we love that. I love Brad, my dad, and Mama Pace. They're the best. My mom has always been so into travel, and she loves any trip. Anytime she can have an opportunity to go on a trip, she on that flight. And my dad, he works with all the little doctors, and usually I go to him before I go to Google. So it's kind of nice. He's very smart. Always helped me with math. And when I was 9 years old, my parents separated and then got divorced when I was 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And that was quite an adjustment for our family, but I'm grateful that both of my parents can be friends and be in the same room. So that's nice. Pat them on the back, go them. But I would say my parents weren't strict. Most of the time, if I did something wrong, I'd talk to my mom about it before like my siblings had a chance to tattle on me. I was already there. I was already telling my mom and dad that I did this. I never really had a curfew because I would just come home early. Like I had a curfew in my head. So that was really nice of them to not be strict. I just naturally went to them if I had ever had anything. That's just kind of how I was. Let's go back to when I was a kid. Who was I? Who was baby Sid? So as a kid, luckily I grew out of this, but sleepwalking, I would sleepwalk all the time. There's this one particular time that me and my family laugh about often is we just got new snow gear and they caught me in the basement sleepwalking. I was not awake at all. I was putting on my snow gear so I could go out and play. And it's actually 10 p.m., so we won't be doing that, but very shy. I think when I was around my friends that I knew and family that I knew well and was comfortable with, I was a little more outgoing, but overall was shy. Didn't really say much, kept to myself. Yeah, enjoyed what I like to do in silence, I guess. I don't know. I would make vlogs of my day. Even watching those, like, I thought they were the most entertaining things in the world. And I thought I was being outgoing. And then you watch them back and you're like, oh, she's trying to be outgoing, but this isn't her thing. I don't know about all of you, but I also had a baby blanket and I would not let that thing go. Anywhere we go, it was right by my side. Then it got to a point where my mom was like, girl, you gotta grow up. Broke that habit, but I was definitely one of those kids. And lastly is you can always catch me like mixing weird food together. There's this one time that me and my little friend, we were making pancakes for dinner because why not? I think we wanted chocolate chip pancakes, but we didn't have any. So I was like looking in the cupboard for what we could put instead of chocolate chips, and we found a box of Nerds. Anyway, we put that into our pancakes, and honestly, I'd eat them again. Nerd pancakes, like, why are people not talking about that? Yeah, so she was an adventurous, shy little girl. So yeah, that was me kind of growing up, and the dynamic that I added to our family was between me crying if you looked at me wrong and putting weird things in our food. Like, what more could you ask for from a younger sister, you know? So like I had mentioned, is my family was very focused on sports, and that's kind of where we fell. My mom was very athletic, yeah, and my dad was very athletic as well. So it was this big thing that sports was our focus on a family. And so growing up, my mom was my coach. That's so cute. And it was cute. And I thought I was the coolest kid on the block that my mom was my coach. We'd be pulling up. I'm like, yeah, I'm with the coach. I think my favorite was kickball. And then when I was around, I think I was 8 or 9, there's this lady in my neighborhood who taught at a dance studio. She was like, you should do it. And I'm like, no, like, my family's all into sports. And like, not too long after that conversation, your girl Sid was enrolled in ballet. Probably my first exposure in like group sports that my mom wasn't around. And I love dance. Ballet was like my favorite thing in the world. Some of my best friends today are like people that I met through dance. And yeah, I don't know what I'd do without them. So it was good. It was good to kind of shift the gears from my family dynamic of being a sports family, where it kind of shifted and this became my own thing. Like, none of my family danced, and so I loved it because it was different than what everyone else has experienced. With that, my mom did have to learn how to like do makeup, buns, dress rehearsals, and at first I think she didn't like it, but I think she grew to love it. She loved being a dance mom. Some of my dance teachers, like, I still feel like are my family, which honestly I feel like that's probably one of my favorite things, is those people become family because you spend so much time with them. I still talk to a lot of like my dance teachers because like from 9 years old until 19, like, those are kind of pivotal years and a lot of growing up, and it's fun to like have that connection with someone who has seen you kind of grow up in that sense. Anyway, so I know I can call and chat with them anytime, and it's probably one of my favorite things in the world, you know? So go do those group things because you never know who you're going to meet. Family isn't just blood, you know? Is there a song about that? I feel like there is. If there's a song about that, please send it to me because I'm blanking at the moment. When we're growing up, we're kind of just like going through it. I mean, you're constantly growing up. But like when you graduate high school, I feel like you kind of appreciate how you grew up later versus in the moment, if that makes sense. So one of my childhood role models was definitely Hannah Montana. Yep. You heard it here. Ever since I like was introduced to Hannah Montana, I wanted to have a Miley Stewart summer. The Hannah Montana movie has always been one of my like top 3 movies. Yeah, I just think it's the best. Everything about the Hannah Montana era, amazing. Miley Cyrus, she needs to do an Eras tour, if you will, and she needs to put the wig back on. I know it's probably traumatic for her, but like, put it back on just for me. Just for everybody out there. Was definitely a role model for me. She was actually my first concert. My aunt bought us tickets and I went with like all my cousins, my sister. We pulled up to the Hannah Montana concert. Merch, we got the shirts, we got like necklaces, bracelets, all the things ready for this concert. And guess what? The Jonas Brothers were also gonna be there. So they sang their little song together. And then Miley Cyrus made an appearance. Yeah, so it was kind of like a mini Eras tour before Eras tour was a thing. So that was my first concert. Really set the bar high for all my concerts in the future. You know what I mean? But she was definitely one of my role models growing up. And honestly, I still listen to her music. Catch me in my car, bopping. He could be the one. Honestly, I was more of a Jessie girl than a Jake girl. So if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about me, I don't know what does. Okay, sorry, this was a little bit all over the place. So let me try to get back on track. Let's talk about school. Let's talk about when I was in school in elementary. I would play with pet shops a ton. Me and my friend, my best friend in elementary, her name is Michaela, shout out. We would play with Littlest pet shops on the playground all the time. We would trade them and we would like bring our new ones. And honestly, that was peak. So, and then my parents thought it'd be fun to enroll me in piano lessons. I loved the awards. I loved bringing the music that I wanted to learn. So I think I did piano from when I was like 7 to maybe 17, which I feel like 10 years is pretty good, but I definitely would have been better if I practiced. So write that down, put that in your journal, make that your New Year's resolution. Practice now because you'll appreciate it in the future. So, which I do. Like, I feel like I can still sight read music, and if there's a song I want to learn, like, I feel like I can sit down and learn it. So let me know if you need a tutorial, music video dropping soon. And the type of student I was in school, I was a talker. Like, I might have been shy, but I definitely loved making people laugh. So anytime I had the opportunity, I took it. And sometimes I was a little loud. But I think my favorite topic in school was math. And we have those moments when we're all sitting at the dining room table with our dads and crying because it doesn't make sense. But I think I loved it because it was really challenging, and I don't know, English is English. Like, I know how to yap, obviously. Something about it, maybe this is like, I shouldn't compare it to a drug, but something about it is addicting to like where you do the math assignment or when you do the math problem correct. Like, it's just amazing. Like, you feel literally on top of the world. So I love math. If I was at recess, you would catch me either on the monkey bars trying to impress all the boys, or I was probably playing kickball or like capture the flag. Yup. I was all about that. Beep. I'm trying to think. What else do you want to know about me? My style was not good. It was very much plaid shorts. Like, if I had blue plaid shorts, I was wearing a blue shirt and blue shoes. So call me Smurf. And it only improved probably after high school, unfortunately. But you know what they say? If you have an ugly face, you're going to be the hottest person out there because character development. Yeah, anyway. And I was very much... Okay, listen. Brace yourselves. When I say this, remember this. We listen, we don't judge, okay? I was definitely a horse girl, but not in the way that you think. I just loved, I don't know, animals are cute. Like, I would have clothes that had horses on it. Like, that's just cute. That's just fun. My room was decorated with horses. And I think this came from because my grandpa, he used to own horses back in the day. And he was very much like into rodeos. And that's kind of something between like me and my grandpa that I hold really close, is that we kind of share that love. So I was not running around like a horse, okay? Let's just clarify that. And if you were, there's nothing wrong with that because we listen and we don't judge, right? Okay. First of all, getting your first email as a kid, so nothing has been more exciting. Like, I'd never experienced anything more exciting than getting my first email and emailing my friends. Like, what? That's kind of fun. I bet you won't even be able to guess. You can reach me at Sid Horses Rock. Yep. And I still use that email, but only for like the websites where it's like, if you put your email in, you can get 20% off your order. Like, heck yeah, I'm putting it in. But that one, that's kind of like my spam one. That's when Sid Horses Rock was born. Some could say it's my alter ego. Most of the time, it just comes out in the summer because that's when rodeos are. Like, my whole room was decorated as horses. She was dedicated to the bit, that's for sure. When I was finishing up my time in elementary and going into junior high, I got glasses. Yep. Your girl Sid Pace got glasses. I'm pretty sure I still have my first pair somewhere in like my storage. So that definitely added some character development moments for sure. Junior high was kind of hard because then it's like the first time experiencing like a bunch of different elementaries being poured into one school. So it was kind of fun to meet new people. I just felt like it was kind of like a clean slate. Like, everyone was willing to be friends with everybody in 7th grade. And then after 7th grade, like, it became a little more clicky, and I definitely noticed like a lot more people were kind of developing their friendships. And I don't know, my first experience with Mean Girls, probably junior high dances, something about it, like, oh my gosh, like Jimmy's gonna be there. I'm so excited to see him. I gotta wear my best fit. And then Jimmy be dancing with like 6 other girls. So anyway, that's junior high for you. When I got to high school, that's when the glasses came off. She was fun, flirty. She still had the side part though, but like the glasses were off. So we were stepping up to the plate to be better and hotter. You know what I mean? Not quite there, but it was a step. In high school, we all know that my senior year I did student body office, which was so fun. But before my senior year, it was like the TV announcements, like the school announcements, but you would like film it. There'd be like the weatherman, and then there'd be like, you submit like little videos like, we have a game this Friday, yada yada, blah blah blah. Anyway, I did the morning announcements at school, and on like the little school TV show, I don't even know what you would call it. Loved it. That's kind of where I figured out that I love making videos and I love making content, and it's fun to like put stuff out there that make other people laugh or smile or whatever it is. So most of my time though, if I wasn't at school, I was at dance. Like that kind of became like my place, my safe spot. I loved it a lot because it was an outlet for me to express things without words, which it sounds cheesy, but it's facts, it's true. And I felt like it was the thing that I was doing that was for me. Like I didn't have to share it with anybody else because it was like a whole different world than other people that I grew up with were used to, if that makes any sense. So I loved it. All my friends that I met at dance, literally love them. Shout out to them. And let me talk to you about one of my favorite trips that we took as a family is we went to Kentucky to visit some of my extended family. First of all, if you haven't been to Kentucky, book that flight. So pretty out there. And we went to like this horse place, I don't know, because they had horses, so that's like where they kept them, I think. Or we just pulled up to like this horse farm and just like looked at horses for me or something, I don't know. But there was also a gift shop, but we went there, automatically loved it. And then we went to this place called Kings Island. If you haven't heard about it, it's an amusement park, but like the theme was Nickelodeon theme. Super fun. As a kid, that's like all I wanted to do in my life was go there every day. A win that we got that day is I don't think I won it. I think my mom did or one of my siblings. Either way, I got a giant SpongeBob, and that just made my day because I also loved SpongeBob growing up. So like I needed a giant stuffed animal of him. So that was probably one of my favorite trips. If I could relive any part of my life growing up as a kid, I probably would relive the 4th grade, and here's why. Because I had a crush, and he lived like kitty corner to me growing up. He was my crush, also everyone else's crush, and I wrote him a note, and I remember it was like, do you like me? Check the box, yes or no. And I would give it to him, and when he gave it back to me, he checked yes. So I was on top of the world in 4th grade. Yup. You best believe I was living because the cutest boy in school liked me back. All my friends were also in my 4th grade class. We had an assembly. I think it was in 4th grade. We had an assembly where this guy was like a professional yo-yo guy, trick dude. I bought 2 yo-yos and loved it, so that was fun. Anyway, but also I did make my first enemy in 4th grade, so anyway. And thank goodness that my style has changed. Post high school, it's slowly continuing to change, but I feel like I didn't really focus a lot on fashion. I just pulled up in whatever I felt was great, looked good to me, good enough. But now it's like, okay, she's learning about all sorts of things. Jump scare for those outfits back in the day. I think one of my pastimes now, sorry, this isn't about my childhood, but I just want to share with you, is I love street style that celebrities wear. I feel like is a lot where I pull like inspo, but then also add my own flair, I guess. So usually I'll just get on Pinterest and I'll just type in like whoever I'm admiring at the time and look up their street style and then kind of like base it off that. Some of those people that I look up, Kendall Jenner, Gigi Hadid, Sabrina Carpenter, and Emma Chamberlain, peak street style, honestly, in my opinion. So thank goodness for Pinterest. Sponsor me, I love you. Okay, we've kind of talked a little bit about anything and everything, honestly. I loved my childhood. I definitely appreciate it. Looking back on it, growing up in it, still loved it, but I think kind of just like when you look back on life, you learn to appreciate a lot of things. If I had to give advice to my younger self, something I would say is if you want to do something, then do it. Do it for you because you don't need other people's approval for it. Period. Honestly, not much more to say about that other than this is your life, so live it how you want. Thanks for coming on this journey with me about how I was shy, and now here we are on a podcast yapping about my life and maybe oversharing. Maybe not yet, but when I get more comfortable, we'll be probably oversharing. So anyway, thank you all for listening. Each week we be yapping, so make sure to tune in every Tuesday on Spotify and YouTube. Catch me on Instagram. DM me because I have a crush on you. And yeah, have the best day ever. The best night. Afternoon, evening. Anyway, love you. Bye.